Hello, welcome to Cocktails in the War Room. Hey, it's Mistress Carrie, and it's 8:30. And that means it is time for us to have a drink and unwind after another crazy day, another COVID crazy day, and another day of being locked in the house, or in some cases, in a lot of cases, being absolute, total, essential employees and workers who are out there keeping the country moving and keeping the gears turning. So I just scoffed down a piece of pizza and I totally jacked up my lipstick. How are you guys doing? Long time no see, says Will. I know, because me and Mike Shue were just on Instagram Live for a while. I believe that video is up in my Instagram story. My Instagram is Mistress Carrie WAF if you want to go and watch that later. That's why today was a good day. I got to connect with some of my favorite people. I spent a lot of time talking to Sully Erna from Godsmack today. His Hometown Sessions show on his YouTube channel. There's a new episode every Tuesday and Thursday at 6 o'clock. And this coming Tuesday, I'm going to be on there with him. So make sure you check that out on YouTube this coming Tuesday at 6 o'clock. So I spent a lot of time talking to Sully today. And then I got to Instagram Live with Mike Shue today, which was awesome. I've talked to Mike a few times, but I haven't seen him since AAF went off the air. And actually, no, that's not true. We sat down and did the interview together that was in the Worcester Telegram after we went off the air. But we haven't hung out. Sorry, I got lipstick all over my face. I literally ate a piece of pizza just now, like faster than I have eaten a piece of pizza in a while. And I made an absolute mess. I was so friggin' hungry. So cheers, everybody. Welcome to the War Room. This is what we do every night at 8:30. We get together. We have a cocktail. I got my my skull glass going. And I got a little more moonshine on the rocks over here. So today, April 17th, today would have been my 22nd anniversary on the air at WAF. And so April 17th, 1998, if you weren't listening to AAF back then, I had applied to be Opie and Anthony's producer, submitted a demo tape to be their producer. I didn't get the job. They called me into the office to tell me that I didn't get the job. This was in like January or something like that. And then they asked me if I was interested in ever being on the air as a personality. And I said no. Sorry, my lipstick is very distracting. And I said no. And then Opie yelled at me, told me I was being an idiot. And so then I went back and said yes. And then a couple weeks later, one of the people that worked on the weekends got fired. And so I did a couple of months of weekend shifts. And then obviously Opie and Anthony did the April Fool's thing with Mayor Menino. And then they got fired. And I was out of town. I believe I was in Virginia Beach, actually, because I was touring back then. And then coming back from touring and driving the van and like working on the rock bus and the street team and whatever. And I had a beeper back then. And the phone rang in my hotel room in Virginia Beach. And it was the program director. And I was like, how the fuck did you get my hotel room phone number? And he was like, I called your dad. And I was like, what the hell's going on? Because I was away and hadn't heard that Opie and Anthony had been fired. And he was like, here's what's going on. It's crazy. The audience is going nuts. I believe this was April 16th I got this call. And he said, we had to let Opie and Anthony go. We are moving Rocco to cover afternoons in place of Opie and Anthony. and I wanted to know if you were interested in giving nights a try, 7 to midnight. And he had woken me up because I was touring at the time, and he called me at like 9 o'clock in the morning, and I had been up all night loading out the stage from the night before. And so I asked a question that you shouldn't ask when someone offers you a job, because I said, "Are you smoking crack?" Again, not a smart career move. He said, "No, and don't ever ask me that again." And I said, "Yeah, I would totally be interested." And he said, "Can you be in my office at 5 o'clock?" And I was like, "I'm in Virginia Beach." And he was like, "Can you be in my office by tomorrow at 5 o'clock?" And I was like, "Yeah, I think I can do that." And he said, "Okay, I'll see you tomorrow." And then on April 17th, 1998, I went into his office. Yes, that's Wednesday's balloon that's still here. He said the audience is going crazy and the phone lines are freaking out, that everybody wants to kill everyone and whatever because Opie and Anthony got fired. So, we don't really know how they're going to react to you because you're going to be the new voice that they don't recognize because they know Rocco, and now Rocco's going to be on for Opie and Anthony. So, just play music, take phone calls, let people yell at you, but, just go in there and just do what you do. And I was like, all right, I really don't even know what I do, but whatever. And then he walked me down the hall at like 5 minutes of 7, and he pushed me into the studio by my back and said, "Okay, figure it out, kid," and pushed me in the studio. And that was it. God, I got stuff smeared all over my face. What is going on? And that was it. He pushed me in the studio. I didn't have a producer. I didn't have interns. I was just in there alone. People were screaming and swearing at me because Opie and Anthony had gotten fired, and they were pissed, obviously. And that was my first night on the air full-time at WAAF, was April 17th, 1998. So a couple of years ago, we had the big 20th anniversary celebration for me. And so the thing that I wanted to show you guys from the War Room, even though it's technically not war related, but I keep this in the War Room, this is the official proclamation from Mayor Marty Walsh declaring April 17th, 2018, Mistress Carrie Day in the city of Boston. And this was just such a huge thing for me. It was a milestone that I wasn't sure I was ever going to reach. And it was just a huge thing. It just meant so much. And that everybody from the radio station came into the studio. So it says, the city of Boston, it says, proclamation, whereas Mistress Carrie has been a strong female voice on WAAF, the city's longest running rock station, and whereas having started at WAAF as an intern and now the WAAF music director, Mistress Carrie has spent the last 20 years rocking listeners through their workday. And whereas Mistress Carrie has been a dedicated supporter of the active duty military personnel and veterans organization and was the first non-news journalist embedded with U.S. troops in Iraq and Afghanistan. And whereas she is a 2-time recipient of the Army Commander's Award for Public Service and a recipient of the Order of St. Maurice, now, therefore, I, Martin J. Walsh, Mayor of the City of Boston, do hereby proclaim April 17th, 2018, to be Mistress Carrie Day in the City of Boston. I urge all of my fellow Bostonians to join me in celebrating Mistress Carrie's 20 years on WAAF and her significant contributions to Boston radio. Mayor of Boston, April 17th, 2018. So today, even though it's 2020 and not 2018, technically, today's Mistress Carrie Day. So cheers, everybody, because it's my day, damn it. So happy anniversary. Thank you guys for sticking with me for 22 years. And thank you to Marty Walsh for giving me a day and a proclamation. And that's why I keep it in the War Room, because it is something that I'm just really proud of. And I wouldn't have gotten to that milestone if it wasn't for you guys sticking by me and listening all the time and following all my stupidity and being so supportive And so today, I'm not on the air at WAF, but you guys are still with me in one way, shape, or form. And so today, it's just as much your anniversary as it is mine. So I love you guys. Cheers, and thank you very much. You guys rock. So that is something that I keep in the war room. And I don't know, it just makes me smile when I look at it. I can't believe it was already 2 years ago. We worked so hard for so many days and weeks, like going through old audio and trying to decide what to replay and what not to replay. And Paul, it is my day. It's not fake news. It's my day. But we worked so hard, and it was a whole team effort. I mean, the marketing department, the programming department, just the sales department, like everybody just really wanted to celebrate my anniversary with me. And so April 17th just holds a really special place in my heart, even though AAF isn't around anymore. And obviously I'm not there, but I'm still going to celebrate April 17th every year just because. So thank you, Tim. Happy Mistress Carrie Day. It's all of our day. We're still a family, even if WAF isn't there to be the center of it. We are still all together and hanging around all of the time and supporting each other, especially with all of the craziness that's going on right now. So, Eric, my ears are less purple today. Thank you for asking. And my head is slowly turning less purple. Couple more days and it'll be normal, but you can really see the purple now. So it is bright as fuck. I was just on Instagram with Mike Shue for a while, and it was so funny because people were like, oh my God, hearing the both of you guys swear together is so weird. I'm getting a little more comfortable swearing on Facebook. It's an old habit that dies hard. When you're trying not to swear, when you're being recorded. I mean, Mike Shue will tell you the same thing. It's like, for years, decades, we just know, okay, you're just not allowed to swear. And now all of a sudden it's like, I can say fuck? That's so weird. So, so many people were saying, oh, I'm so bummed that I miss you and Mike. Check my story on Instagram because I think the video might be there. And I think we're going to do it again next week. So I'll let you guys know for sure. But it was really cool reconnecting with him. And I've said it multiple times, like, of the 22 years I was on the air at AAF, and obviously the 29 years that I was in the building in one way, shape, or form, there are very few people that mean more to me than Mike Shue, in work or out of work. And that has been probably the hardest part. Like, Mike Shue and I talked for a while today before we got on Instagram, and just about what we miss and what we don't miss. And, one of the things that I miss the most is just being in that environment with a bunch of people that are just as passionate and driven as I was, and people that had the same goal and the same take no shit attitude and the same creativity, and that we were all just part of this creative team that was just trying to be there to help and support each other and to just constantly move forward. And I really miss seeing him every day. And I would love to work with him again in some way, shape, or form. And so just getting to get on Instagram today and just laugh and just talk about, he was asking me for advice on why the bread he's been trying to make isn't rising and why it's hard as a rock. And I told him, maybe he didn't put enough sugar in the bread. And he's like, I didn't put any sugar in the bread. And I'm like, well, what the hell is the yeast supposed to eat? And he's like, I didn't know the yeast was hungry. And I would always bring food in, or like I would bring stuff in from the garden. And then like he would always bring something in. And it was just, Jeff says, you're like brother and sister. It's 100% true. I mean, we worked together for 20 years and went through a lot. I mean, he got married and had a daughter and went through illness, and I got married and divorced, and we both had dogs die, and I got into a motorcycle accident, and he and I traveled together, and he was so supportive of my trips overseas. And we literally went through all of the ups and downs. When AAF was doing great, we were there to celebrate together. And when things were tough, we were there to kind of support each other. And I just miss him so much. And we just got off of Instagram at like 8:00. And, it's like, I haven't seen him in 5 or 6 weeks. And it just picked right back up where it left off. And, I love his wife and his daughter. And, we just have always gotten along and worked well together. And that is definitely one of the hardest things, is just not having Mike to talk to. And I know I could talk to him every day, but then I'd be like, oh, I wish I could see him every day. And if I were camped out on his front porch, I'd probably freak him out. And his wife would probably get pissed at me after a while because she wouldn't want to feed me. But, I just miss him. And especially when you're so isolated the way that things are right now, it's like getting to reach out and to talk to people that you're super close with. I know a lot of people, I know it's not just me. I know a lot of people that are laid off right now miss their coworkers. If you're lucky enough to have a job, I use the word in quotations because I never really felt like WAAF was just a job. But if you were lucky enough to go to work every day and loved what you did and loved the people you work with, it's incredibly traumatic to lose that. I hope for anyone that's laid off right now that it's only temporary for you. I know it's more permanent for me, at least because AAF is gone. And that's really hard. It's you spend more time with those people than you do your own family sometimes. And, so I just hope that anybody that right now is separated from their work family, that you get to go back to work soon, because I know what it's like to miss the people and to love the people you worked with. And I miss them too. So, everybody hears Wednesday barking. I don't know if she's barking at an Amazon driver or that's her friend Zero that's here too. They're having a play date right now, so God only knows who they're barking at right now. But yeah, they're barking in the background, so that's great. Who are they barking at? I have no idea, Bob. I don't know who they're barking at, but it's literally like constant. It's like they're barking at someone or something, and if they're not, then they're, if I'm cooking, Wednesday wants to be eating whatever it is that I'm cooking, and if not, hey, we're just talking about you. Are you going to come over and say hi to everyone? Come on. Come on up here. Knock the pillows off the couch. Come and say hi to everybody. There she is. Come say hi to everyone. Come on. Come on. Come say hi. Tell everybody what a vicious protector you are. And were you just barking at a FedEx person? Or a UPS driver? Who were you barking at? Was it the Amazon guy? Who are you barking at? You just burped in my face again. Is this going to become a thing now? Is that... And there she goes. She's just leaving just like that. It's like she knows she's the star of the show. And Sean says there are 2 dogs. Yes, her best friend Zero is here. And Zero is trying to nap, and then Wednesday jumps on her, and it's just like a thing. But anyway, so I hope you guys all end up back to work quickly with, your work family, because I know what it's like to miss them so much. And Mike was like, my family. And I'm like, I know, I have the dog, and that's. Oh, Stacy says my dog is now barking. I apologize, Stacy. Wednesday does that too when she hears a dog bark on TV, and then she barks, and if Zero's here, Zero barks, then everybody barks. And it's a whole thing. Oh, and now she's got her hands on one of the squeaky toys, so I'm sure you guys are going to be hearing that thing squeak in the background pretty soon too. I don't know which one it is, but it's probably that fucking Stingray that I bought her for her birthday. I want to kill that Stingray. It's just awful. So I wanted to talk to you guys about Joe Buck. Joe Buck turned down, get this, $1 million. He was offered to do play-by-play of a porno. And Joe Buck turned it down and said, no thanks, I'll stick to my day job. Which, P.S., Joe Buck, you don't have a fucking day job because there's no sports. and you just got offered $1 million to do play-by-play on a porno. I would play-by-play the shit out of a porno right now for $1 million. Are you kidding me? Hell yeah, offer me that job. Offer me Joe Buck's job, and I will get the thesaurus and come up with so many words for fluids and friction. Hell yeah. Can you believe he turned down $1 million to do play-by-play on a porno? Now, I don't know what kind of porno it was. I don't know if it was traditional, vanilla, missionary porno, or if it was like 2 girls, 1 cup porno. I don't know if it was like a gangbang porno. Like, I don't know the specifics. All I know is it's $1 million, Joe Buck, and you're not the one actually in the porno. You're just the one that has to do the play-by-play. That's it. $1 million. He'd probably find a way to sing the praises of fucking A-Rod and the Yankees while he was doing it, but whatever. It's $1 million. I would play-by-play the shit out of a porno right now. So if anybody knows where I can apply for that job, my resume is pretty much done. I think 22 years on the air at WAF totally qualifies me to do play-by-play on a porno. Period. And you know what? I'll split it with Mike Shue, and I'll give him $500,000 if the 2 of us can do play-by-play on the porno. It would be like John Madden. Are you kidding? That's a whole plan. Somebody get the porno people on the phone. Me and Mike Shue want in on porno play-by-play. Yes, I already got the money spent in my head. Oh, that would be... Now, who would be the color announcer? Like, would Mike Shue be like the stats guy, and then I would be the color commentator? Or would Mike Shue... Like, would I be the stats, like, actually giving, like, the angles and, like... You know, the measurements on the lube and what they were doing. And then Mike Shue was like the funny color commentator guy. Like, I mean, I'll take whatever job Mike Shue doesn't want, because even for $500,000 a piece, Billy says maybe he has respect. Oh, Billy, stop it. Okay, we're locked in the house. Can you just go with me on this? I know Joe Buck's never going to take the $1 million to do the porno play-by-play. And I know they're not going to offer the job to me and Mike Shue, but can we just... For 5 seconds during a pandemic, can we just fantasize about it for a second? I mean, how long is the porno really going to be? 20 minutes? 15 minutes? 10 minutes? I mean, how good is this guy? Is it just one guy? Is it 2 guys? How many girls are in it? I'm just saying. Your name alone qualifies you, says Jessica. Fact. And there's your deposit on a station. Thank you, Bob. That's exactly right. The $500,000 down payment on a new... Here she comes with the fucking Stingray. Here it comes. Here comes the Stingray. Come on. Come here, Wednesday. Come here. Come over here and bring the Stingray. Show everybody how much you love the crinkly, squeaky, annoying fucking Stingray that I bought you for your 2nd birthday. Come here. I know. Come here. You hear the crinkling? Oh, yeah. It sounds so good in your ear at midnight. Give me that Stingray. This is what my life has become. I'm begging for play-by-play jobs in porno and playing tug-of-war with my pug and a fucking Stingray. Help me, Mike Shue. Seriously. Help. Oh. I know I did this to myself because I bought it for her. So I know this is my fault. This is my problem. Sean says Spaz can be the sideline reporter. Oh my God, that would be even better. We could put Spaz in like the SeaWorld like poncho from the Splash Zone. What? That would be amazing. Give me that. This is what I do. Mike and Becky say it's like fingernails on a chalkboard. I know. Here you go, Wednesday. Now she's going to play tug of war and fetch. Oh, yeah. No dog toys in the bedroom. She doesn't care that it's time for cocktails in the war room. There are no fucks given right now. When you're a 2-year-old pug and you're in lockdown with your mom and a stingray, yeah. Wendy says she's dying. Oh, I'm dying too, Wendy. Slowly. I love how it's the fucking stingray, says Zach. Oh, it is, like Carol fucking Basket. It's the fucking stingray now. Mike Shue, by the way, unbelievable theory about Carol Baskin's husband. I think he's right on. You need a whiskey shot, says Mark. Oh, I need more moonshine. I need all the moonshine all the time. Scott finally guessed it. Scott said, is that a Candlebox t-shirt? Why, yes it is. Look at this bad boy. So this Candlebox t-shirt I bought when Candlebox opened up for Rush back-to-back shows at the Centrum. That was when I found out that Geddy Lee collected Chia Pets. Yep. And Kevin Martin, the lead singer of Candlebox, and Scott Mercado, who was the drummer at the time, the original drummer, I took them to the Greendale Mall, and they bought a Jerry Garcia Chia Pet for Geddy Lee as, like, I think it was the last 2 dates of that tour, and they wanted to buy Geddy Lee like an end of tour like joke gift or whatever. So they bought Geddy Lee a Jerry Garcia Chia Pet, and Geddy Lee played that show that night with the Jerry Garcia Chia Pet down by his like his keyboard pedals and stuff, and it was hilarious. So that's where I got this shirt, and the Candlebox, I became friends with those guys. I think I was still an intern, and they played a Halloween party for WAAF, and I brought all of the food in from my family's bakery and had all the catering for all of the bands, and became friends with those guys, and we stayed friends for a long time. And I think the last time I saw Kevin Martin, actually, holy shit, it was a year ago today, because I ran the marathon on the 15th, I took the 16th off, and the 17th, I went back on the air in the studio, and the guys from Candlebox were playing in the studio for the morning show. Come here, Zero. Do you want to say hi to everybody too? Come over here. Come over here. Say hi. This is Wednesday's best friend, Zero. I'm dog sitting. They're having a play date. And now Wednesday's bringing back the fucking stingray, trying to get Zero to play tug of war with her. This is my life. It's just me and the dogs. What? What, baby girl? Are you okay? Wednesday, I know. Go get the stingray. Oh my God. So yes, this is a Candlebox shirt. This was the one that I dug out for you guys, and it's from when Candlebox toured with Rush. And that would be Rush opened. No, that's not right, Terrence. Rush did not open for Candlebox in '94. You mean Candlebox opened for Rush. Now, Terrence says they got booed off stage, but I was at both of those shows, and I don't remember that happening. So, let's see. Zero is gorgeous. Yes, she is. She is awesome. What breed is Zero? I believe Zero is part miniature husky and part pit bull. And she is a love bug and is Wednesday's best friend. And they have play dates all the time. Zero is the best friend of one of my Afghanistan guys. And so our dogs are best friends and they hang out together. So I told you that those trips overseas, they changed my life in a lot of ways. And one of the ways they changed my life is that no problem, Wednesday. Just come here and sit right on my lap there. Thank you for putting your butthole in my face. And one of the things that I got from those trips is I got an extended family and a whole group of best friends and big brothers. And I keep in touch with so many of those guys all the time. And I know Zero, she's annoying as shit sometimes. I know. She just wants to play right now. She's hyper as hell. And now I got the both of them that are over here because they don't care that it's cocktails in the war room time. They just... Matt Gay says, I was talking with your helicopter pilot today from the National Guard. He spoke highly of you. Well, I love those guys. All of them. The aviation guys, the infantry guys, just all of them. They're just the medics, just all of them. Where did you go? Did I really freeze or am I better? Am I good now? Okay. Did you guys know we're getting snow tonight? Central Mass is going to get 4 to 6 inches of snow tonight. Just take a deep breath. Locked in the house, barking dog, stingray, coronavirus, pandemic, and snow. Yeah, that's... I needed that drink again. So we're getting snow tonight. Live Nation announced a program to offer refunds and coupons for shows that have been canceled or postponed because there has been criticism and lawmaker pressure because so many people have concert tickets for shows that have either been canceled or postponed, and people wanted to know when they are going to get their refunds on that. So you want to check with Live Nation, go online, check with the place wherever you bought your tickets, and you'll be able to get more details on how you're going to be able to get your money back on that. The judge has extended the deadline for Joe Exotic to challenge his convictions. Mike Shue and I had an extended conversation about Tiger King earlier today. His theories about whether Carol Baskin killed her husband or not are pretty good. Mike Shue doesn't think she killed him. He thinks that she had an agreement with her husband and that she helped to facilitate his disappearance on his behest so that he could go down to Costa Rica and disappear from his ex-wife and the daughters because he had written them out of the will, and Carol Baskin actually gave them some of the money that she got in the will, which I didn't know. I think maybe I missed that part of the episode. So Mike Shue had an interesting theory about Tiger King, and so the judge has extended the deadline for Joe Exotic to challenge his convictions. Did you see Tom Brady's social media stuff? He, with the draft coming up, was reminding everyone of all of the quarterbacks that were drafted in 2000 in the draft and where they're all at now and who got drafted above him, and it was like, yeah, scathing. Eric says I need a Xanax. Yeah, maybe 2. Maybe more than 2, depending on how long the dogs are going to be barking. So I thought it was really interesting because obviously Tom Brady is the only quarterback that's left out of the class of 2000. And it was interesting to see some of the busted QBs that got drafted before him, which is obviously why he sent out that reminder to the league. The marathon is urging people not to run the actual route over the next week because I know that there were a lot of people that even though the marathon is rescheduled for September, there were a lot of runners that wanted to go and run the course this week leading up to Patriots Day on Monday. And the marathon is saying that they're afraid too many people are going to show up and that is going to require first responders to be out there protecting runners that are out there with no kind of, traffic lane or whatever. And Wayne says, Tom Brady who? Very good, Wayne. And that they're a little bit worried that too many people are going to show up to run the route leading up to Monday. And so the marathon is asking people, please don't go out on the official route. What do you got Wednesday? And so one of my friends that's running the marathon was thinking about doing it, just going out there and running it himself just to do it. But the marathon is asking people not to do that. When it comes to the coronavirus, there's updated numbers for you. There are 34,402 total cases in Massachusetts. There are 2,221 new cases from yesterday. There are 159 more fatalities. It's the fourth day in a row where the fatalities have been in the hundreds, and there are 1,404 total fatalities in Massachusetts. They have tested over 3.2 million people as of the press conference they just had a little while ago. So they know that we are definitely in the surge now, and things are starting to ramp up, and definitely within the next week to week and a half is when we can expect things to, I know Wendy, she says, so shocking, those numbers. I know. And they're saying that, the next week especially is going to be tough and very telling about if they've got a handle on this thing with the social distancing that we have going on. So, I say it every night, but I'm going to remind you guys, we're going to face some rough days, and we just got to stick together, and we got to just get through this together and be supportive and do what we can to help each other and to put a little goodness out there. So, let's just do what we can. Focus on things that are good, like a pug that doesn't have a stingray. Let's focus on the good things. And do what we can to be helpful, and be grateful for the people that we have that are fighting for us. All of our healthcare workers, all of the first responders, the National Guard soldiers that have been activated, just all of the people that are helping our healthcare system. Cheer on the people that are quarantined, that have been affected or infected, I should say, and that are at home alone, not feeling well, and staying away from everyone they love so they don't get them sick. And so let's just stay strong and tough and positive and be there for each other. Speaking of that, is today your birthday? Because again, if you're alone on your birthday, well, you're not alone on your birthday when you have all of us. So if today is your birthday, you share it with Maynard James Keenan. You share it with Matt Chamberlain. You share it with Liz Fair and Redman. So happy birthday if April 17th, otherwise known as Mistress Carrie Day, at least in 2018 it was. And if today is your birthday, happy birthday, guys. Heather says, stocked up on alcohol. Well, there you go. Let's see. Happy birthday. Cheers, says Wendy. Marcy says, my son who stocked shelves overnight. Absolutely. The fact that during a global pandemic that you were able to go to a store and for the most part be able to find what you need, there is a whole line of people that are making that happen. From the food producers to the truck drivers to the supermarket employees, just everyone from beginning to end that is making it possible for you to be, happy birthday, Brian, for you to be able to go and get what you need says a lot. I mean, imagine how much more difficult and how much more dangerous things would be right now if we didn't have access to the supermarkets, if we didn't have our cell phone network up and running, if our Wi-Fi and internet wasn't up and running, if you didn't have your cable or your electricity. I mean, as much as it sucks what we are all going through, I keep having to remind myself, it could be so much worse. We have got thousands and thousands, millions of healthcare workers that are going into battle every day, taking care of our loved ones and being there when none of us can be. And we are able to, for the most part, get what we need. I know it's scary as shit, especially when it comes to money and your stimulus money, and you're worried about how that's not going to cover your rent or your expenses. Trust me, I'm laid off too. So I understand when you start worrying about how you're going to pay your mortgage or how you're going to buy dog food or just whatever. I get it. I'm right there with you. But it could be, Dan, be a prepper. Trust me, Dan, I am a prepper. People made fun of me about it for years. But it could be a lot worse. And we got to remind ourselves of that too, is that we're going to figure it out, and they're going to get a handle on this, and we're going to stop the spread, and more people are going to survive this. And eventually, I don't know when, but eventually we're going to all get back to work and get back to normal. And we just have to focus on that. We just have to keep ourselves focused on that. And Mary says, the stimulus is a joke. I need to work. I get it. Trust me. You know, I'm worried that the industry I spent my entire life working in might not recover enough for me to be able to get another job. And now all of a sudden, for the first time in 25 years or 23 years or whatever, that I'm going to have to find something else that I might be good at. Play-by-play in porno. I mean, what else am I supposed to do? So we just got to hold on right now and just figure. We just got to figure it out. And you know, if somebody needs something, ask for it, because I'm sure that there's somebody close by that has what you need. Ellie says, but Carrie, I am afraid. Ellie, I get it. I get it. I understand. You know, I grew up in a family of first responders. You know, almost my entire family works in the medical field. My dad was a firefighter. My uncle was a cop. My sister, my mom, both my aunts, they all work in healthcare. And my cousin is an EMT on an ambulance right now. So I totally understand. And it's so uncertain. And every day, you know, that goes by that people aren't making their payments, people are worried about their credit scores. It would be really nice if one of the things they could do is put a hold on reporting to the credit bureaus, so that if you miss a payment on something, it doesn't trash your credit for the next 7 years, because it's not your fault that you're not working. It's not your fault that, you know, that you can't get a job. You know, unemployment right now, it's like, okay, you know, can you go on interviews? Like, how are you going to find a job? I mean, I know I can't go on an interview right now. I can't get people to call me back when it comes to applying for jobs. You know, I get it. I'm scared too. But I can't curl up in a ball and just be afraid 24 hours a day. You know, I have to just think about all of the people that are doing their jobs. As hard as it is, I have to find a way to have a little bit of faith in our elected officials on both sides of the aisle, that they are going to try to do what they can, even though I think all of them are woefully inept. But, you know, you know, this is one of those times where you have to go, you know, all those local elections that you couldn't be bothered voting in, like, this shows you how powerful your local elections are, because it's your local mayors and city councils and the people at the state level that are having so much more influence on what's going on in your life right now. But I just, you know, Becky says I limit my news intake. I do the same thing. I want to be informed. I want to know what the facts are. I want to know what the numbers are in our state and in the states that border us, because I think the theory behind the regions is correct. Doesn't make any sense for Massachusetts to have different restrictions in New Hampshire and for Rhode Island to have different restrictions in Connecticut. It's like, maybe a state like Texas or Alaska can have different restrictions than everyone else because they're so huge. But for small states in New England, we all kind of got to be on the same page and in agreement on how this is all going to work, or people are just going to drive across the border and we're going to end up right back where we're at. Like, we got to get this right the first time so that we can all try to get back to work and, but I understand everyone's fears, and I understand, I refuse to get into the political nonsense of it, because people are dying, and that's not political. It's why when we were at the height of the Iraq and the Afghanistan wars, I didn't want to get involved with the politics of that either, because at the end of the day, it's about our troops' lives, and I don't give a fuck what party controls Congress or the White House or whatever. Those are our guys, and we need to figure it out. And right now, these are our people that are sick and that are dying. They are Americans. They're not Democrats or Republicans. And if I can step up on a little bit of a soapbox, I think everybody needs to stop being so goddamn partisan and start worrying about the fact that whether a state has a Republican or a Democratic governor, those are Americans. Those are our people. We are all in the same country. We are Americans, and we need to start acting like it. I think so many people forget that, and they worry about their party over the other party and this state over that state. And it's like, last time I checked, we all put our hand over the same heart and look at the same fucking flag. And a soldier that gets killed in action or a veteran that dies, that flag that's draped over their coffin is not a different flag than it is in another state. It's all the same flag. And we are all in this together. And we just have to start worrying about each other. And if all of us, just 5% more, worried about our own fellow Americans and our own neighbors and our families, then we would all be better off. So let's just take a deep breath and look at what you have that you can share. And if you don't have anything to share, then swallow your pride and ask for what you need. And I promise you, someone will be there to help you, because that is what Americans do best. When our back is against the wall, we figure it the fuck out. We did it after 9/11. We did it after World War II. We will figure it out, and we'll do it together. And we can come out stronger from this if we try. But we would have to put the country's needs as a whole over our own needs, or your political party's needs, or the lobbyist needs, or everybody else's needs. And let's just go, you know what? I'm going to do what I can do. Like, I didn't ask, oh, okay, I'm going to give blood. Is it a Democrat or a Republican I'm giving blood to? What religion are they? What color is their skin? I don't give a fuck. It's an American that needs blood. There you go. There's my vein. You can take it. That's all I can do to help somebody, then that's what I'm doing. So just let's everybody get on the same page. And if we're not going to be driven to unite by our politicians, then let's be driven to unite by our own self-preservation as a country, and just give a shit about each other a little bit more. It's Friday night. We're locked in the house. That ain't going to change tomorrow. Our situation financially isn't going to change tomorrow. So let's just be positive. I love you guys. If somebody needs something, you got to let us know, and we're going to figure it out. Even if it's just the people that have cocktails in the war room together. We're a tribe amongst ourselves. Jeff says it's no time for politics. Exactly. It's not. Our country needs our help, and it's all of us. Whatever we can do, let's just figure it out. We can do this. We've been through way worse than this. We'll figure it out. I apologize for ranting, but I spent time today talking to some of the people that I've known longer than anybody. I talked to Sully for a while today. I talked to Mike Shue today. I miss those guys so much, and I want to just get back to normal and be able to get back to just telling dick jokes on the radio. I like that much better. But I also know that if I were still on the radio right now, not only would I be telling you dick jokes, but WAAF would be galvanizing our family for the greater good, because that's what we always did when things got tough. And if we can't do that on the radio, then we're going to do it here on Facebook, or we're going to do it on Instagram, or we're going to do it somewhere else. And we're just going to say, you know what? Then we're just going to be there for each other. And if that means picking up the phone, if that means donating a little money, if that means donating some food to someone that needs it, or running an errand for an elderly person that is afraid to leave the house, or watching someone's dog when they're not around, or babysitting their kids, or helping them fix their car. Let's just figure it out. Let's just be a little bit more positive. There's so much hate right now on the internet. There's so much anger and so much partisanship and so much bullshit on Twitter and on the news. And I can't handle it, because I really don't believe that those people that are screaming at the rain the loudest represent us. I really don't. I think for the most part, there's 10% assholes way on that side, 10% assholes way on that side, and the other 80% of us are all in the middle just going, we just want to do what's right. And that's what we all want to do. And we would be sober, Heather says. Are you sure? I mean, it is still an AAF family after all. So just to believe that this is going to get the better of us right now. I refuse to believe that we are going to be torn apart over this. I just refuse. I went and got you guys a drink recipe. This one is called the Pink Fetish. It is an ounce of vodka, an ounce of peach schnapps. It's 2 ounces of cranberry juice and 2 ounces of fresh orange juice and a lime wedge to garnish. The instructions say, shake the ingredients, strain into an ice-filled old-fashioned glass, add the lime wedge, and serve. That's called Pink Fetish. So if you want to have a little pink cocktail tonight, vodka, peach schnapps, cranberry juice, orange juice, and a lime. I can handle that. Bob says we are sandwiched between assholes. Basically, yeah. 100%. And I refuse, after the day I had, not only is it my anniversary of starting my dream job, which I look back at so fondly, but I also got to talk to some of the people that I knew the longest from that job. So don't forget, Hometown Sessions. I'm going to be on with Sully on his YouTube channel on Tuesday at 6 o'clock, social distancing. And I believe Mike Shue and I are going to hit Instagram Live again next week. I don't know when yet, but we will definitely let you know. Mike wants to know if he can order a purple fetish. We'd have to put some like slow gin in it, or like some blue curacao or something to make it purple. But hell yeah, why not? Wait, hold on. I need a sip. Wayne says, if I keep watching you, I'm going to need AA. Trust me. I have my cocktail in here with you guys, but I have been incredibly strict about drinking when I'm not in the war room, because I don't want to end up walking out of here needing a liver transplant, because I don't know. I mean, I know that we're Americans and we're supposed to help each other. I don't know if anybody's going to give me a piece of their liver. Then I got to worry about who it's coming from. And I don't know too many people that are going to have a healthy enough liver to give me a piece of theirs. So Ricky says, Mistress Carrie for president. Can we rewatch those YouTube thingies? Krista wants to know. Yeah, they launch at 6 o'clock on Tuesdays and Thursdays. They're called Hometown Sessions on Sully's YouTube channel. But then they stay up there afterwards. The show, I think, is like an hour long. So, yeah, they should be up there. Or grape juice, Heather says. Yeah, we could do that for sure. William says, I already need AA. Ooh, Jason says Chambord. That would be good in it, too. And Stephen, peace to everyone in recovery. You don't have to have alcohol in your cocktail in the war room. There is no shame in your game if you're in recovery and you want to join us and have a seltzer water or a diet soda or a ginger ale or whatever you want. I'm not in here trying to make you guys unhealthy and go against your sobriety. If you are finding a way to stay strong in your sobriety and your recovery during all of these hard times, you are kicking ass. And I know it's a fight every day, but you can do it. There are a lot of people that have been able to stay true to their sobriety. And if you need help with that, then you reach out to somebody. And if you need help with your depression and your isolation, or if you're starting to have very dark thoughts about suicide, there are a lot of people here, not only in this community that we've built together, but also just a lot of people that love you, your family, your friends, that will answer the phone if you call, no matter what time of the day or night it is. and listen to you, because everybody knows it's hard. And there shouldn't be any embarrassment with you saying, you know what, I'm just really sad today, or I'm really scared and I don't know how I'm going to pay my bills, and I don't know how to explain this to my kids, and I don't know how I'm going to recover from this, or, I think we've all been through enough. You guys have seen me cry enough where I feel like I should be able to tell you guys whatever it is. So I tell you guys when I'm having a hard day. There's no shame in that. It's still cheers. It doesn't matter what's in the drink, Tracy says. I 100% agree. I am a coffee drinker. Depression, that's daily. Trust me. I left the house today for a while and I had another iced coffee and it was like, it was so good. It was so good. I saw a video of people in Burlington like backed up down the street because there was a Starbucks open. What? Are you kidding me? Crazy. Eric says being sober is getting harder and harder. I bet. I am fortunate that I have never really had an addictive personality that way, but working in the music business for as long as I have, there are too many people that I know that have difficulties with it and have found sobriety, lost sobriety, gotten it back, and I've seen the battle and the toll that it takes on people, and I can appreciate how hard that is for you, and whatever it is that you have to do to get through the day or through the minute or through the hour, then that's what you have to do. But I know, because I've seen how hard it has been for people. Maybe do Shirley Temples on Tuesdays. Not a bad idea. I mean, Joe Rogan does, the Sober October. So we could probably do a sober day a week, maybe. You guys game for that? We could probably figure that out. Krista says, same goes for me. Message me if you need somebody to talk to. I mean, you guys are awesome. Go through these comments and read the support that you guys are giving to each other. If you get sad, go through these comments. Mary says, shut up, your addiction is music. You got me on that one. Temple Tuesdays, Monica. You know what? We're doing that. We're going to do Shirley Temples this Tuesday. And we're going to do it in support of all of the people that are in recovery, that have been having a really hard time watching the rest of us have cocktails in the war room. We're doing Shirley Temples on Tuesday. Temple Tuesday is this Tuesday. 100%. Barbara says, here for anyone, just message me. Michael says, hey, Carrie, I'm late coming in tonight, but I'm here. Well, we missed you, Michael. So, hell yeah. Let's just, let's be supportive for each other and do whatever we can to help each other get through this. We're going to figure it out. We're going to be okay. I had a really good day today, and those days are hard to come by sometimes. So I am just going to take that good day today, and I'm not going to let anybody shit in my Cheerios today. And I love you guys, and I hope you know that. And I hope you know that we are all going to be okay. And God, is it going to be fun when we all hang out when this is all over. Plenty of grenadine I am in, says Trisha. I am totally making a Shirley Temple on Tuesday, Eric says. Steven says, same here. I'm here for anybody that needs to talk. I'm always here. So there you go. See? Just like that. 100% support. Reach out. You got a friend in all of us, says Paula. Absolutely. Don't forget the suicide prevention hotline. Thank you, Mickey, for the reminder. 1-800-273-8255. But we're here for each other. So enjoy your Friday night. It's Mistress Carrie Day after all. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Stay strong. Stay positive. We're going to be okay. Until then. Until tomorrow. Bye, guys. Good night.